BlueMix is a cloud platform which you can use to build, host, develop, and manage and run almost all type of application from the web, mobile, big data, analytics, Watson to the IoT. BlueMix provide access to a catalog of services which are APIs and access to an infrastructure that allows you to go live and scale rapidly. BlueMix offers several layers of security that develops on-prem system integration, all with a flexible pricing model. So if we look to the traditional in-house on-premises IT, we see that the organization takes full responsibility for setting up, managing, maintaining, and scaling everything from the backend to the front end. And the organizer need to do that every time that start a new project. With the cloud business model, the organization may use a service provider for either the infrastructure, platform, or even software, or all of them, depending on the organization size and the AT requirement. And so, as you say, in terms of the IBM offer, the organization can use a soft layer for the infrastructure or BlueMix if on top of the infrastructure. They also require a platform running an operating system, a middleware, and a runtime. This is the environment for the infrastructure as a service and platform as a service. Then, as a software pure as a service level, the IBM software as a service example, you can integrate BlueMix with the DevOps services for the lifecycle management. From open source point of view, BlueMix run on the software infrastructure and on top of open source Cloud Foundry. This is a focal point because it shows that IBM is not locking the customer to any proprietary platform or system, and it's the way we are driving innovation in IBM right now. And IBM strongly bets on open source for the cloud business using OpenStack for the infrastructure as a service. So let's focus quickly on BlueMix structure and architecture. The software, as I said, is based on virtualized hardware, or rather a virtual machine with a container, with a framework and a runtime. Then inside is installed your application. Each execution environment, including both mobile and web, is isolated from the execution environment of other applications, even though these apps are on the same physical machine. The cluster of servers of the BlueMix infrastructure um, are available in several regions, and you can deploy an application in one region or across multiple regions. And more regions will be available soon in the European space and worldwide. Then you can ask for a dedicated instance of BlueMix in any of the software data centers and across the world. And you can build your infrastructures securely connected to both the public BlueMix and your own network. BlueMix is based to a list of services, the catalog, and you can choose from lots of pre-built application, feature, and services. But I will show you better in the live demo how to access to the catalog. With BlueMix, the developers can quickly coding and deploy software. BlueMix allows developers the flexibility to choose their own languages and tooling and allow the end user to compose their application whichever service from IBM third party or from the community. We are still going in a more agile development, say moving from the waterfall linear process based on the separation of the steps um, of analyze, plan, design, build, test, deploy, and maintenance to an agile incremental and cycling process where you analyze, you plan, you design, you build, test, delivery once, then analyze, plan, design, build, test, delivering another piece, and so on. Then in terms of scaling, it's very important to know that your application can scale in terms of data usage and traffic using control and how to scale the services from the catalog. With BlueMix, we move from CapEx to OpEx. That is the system of capital expenditure, where you have fixed costs for assets versus an operational expenditure where all the costs are for ordinary business. You have no total cost of ownership, the life cycle of purchase, installation, management, maintenance and disposal of all the IT assets. That is from the economic treatment and the advantages of using BlueMix. In relation to software development lifecycle, BlueMix is fully integrated with DevOps, the services for continuous integration and continuous deliveries. From IBM, third party, and these all services are directly available in the BlueMix catalog. Okay, then let's take a quick look to the pricing model. You can start with the sign up for the BlueMix trial version. It requires a matter of minutes. It is for 30 days. Then a 30-day free trial, no credit cards required, allow you to experience all the BlueMix has to offer. And then once you are ready to move forward with BlueMix, you can access to the pay-as-you-go model where you pay for what you use, runtime and services, and nothing more. And if you remain under the free tier, you are not charged. Or at the end, you can choose to start a subscription. With the subscription, you are paying a monthly commitment price and you subscription term, and you receive a discount on the pay-as-you-go rates. So okay, let's figure right now a demo. Let's log in to the console. Then log in. In the platform. Okay, here we are in the platform. So right now I will show you how to create. Here, this is the platform. When you access for the first time, you access to the dashboard when it's presented the application that you have deployed, and then all the environment is organized from as a space. So for a space, you can think about the space like your environment. So for example, I will have development environment, production environment, and test environment. I will create a new one specific for this webinar, call it webinar. And inside of that, I will create an app for the web using Java runtime. And I will go to webinar Java. Okay. Once you create the application, you receive the instruction that you can follow step by step. Then you have to download the CF command line interface. That is the interface that brings you the chance to interact with the public BlueMix platform from the command line of your laptop, and by that you can push and see the log of your local development application. Then, for example, I will already done that, so I will download as a second step the source code of this application. Then I will extract it on my laptop. Now, as you said, there is the source code of the application. Here is the source code of the application, where it is a Java project, and you can import it on Eclipse or in your preferred IDE environment for local developing. And the very important file is the manifest YML. This is interpreted from the BlueMix platform. Then I have already done it. I've imported it on Eclipse, so I will show you directly on Eclipse. In the meantime, our app maybe is running. Okay, the app is running. So if I click on the link, I can see what the app do. Just say hi world. And from here, you can go to the overview of the app and see the instances that are up of the Java runtime. So let's take a look of the same project that I've imported on Eclipse. This is Webinar Java, is a work that I've already done. So from here you can see, as I said, the manifest YML. This is a very important file that contains a lot of information for that says to the BlueMix platform how to treat the application. Say, using one instance of 128 mega of memory, and the name of the application is Webinar Java. It was that I've done. The domain is eugb.bluemix.net, but you can use your preferred domain, and you can manage it if you have to deploy your app on a specific domain. And then this is what is reported in the URL of your app, for example, webinarjava.eu.mybluemix.net. So back into the source code, I could, for example, change in some information, like say 2 instance, and what I have to do is modify some source code. This is what the application stream do. It just say hi world, and in the static file index HTML, let's say thanks for creating blah blah blah. So I would like to do some changes. I will liberty for Java start. I will change this webinar app. This is on the front end, static one. Then in the other source, I will copy and paste a snippet that I've already prepared. So I will copy it. I will copy here inside. So what I still do is to modify the source code for on the backend for write something on the log, and then I will show you the log. Okay. So right now I have just to follow the instruction presented on our this section start coding. Okay, so I will log in via the Cloud Foundry user interface. So putting in my local directory, so I will do that. I don't remember the directory when I'm posing. So I will open cmd, go into the directory, okay, here I am. Right now I'm positioned on the directory. Okay, I'm inside the working directory that I've opened in the Eclipse. So backing to the instruction, CF API is the CF command line interface. I will log to the API. Yes. Okay, then I will log in, saying, as you said, CF login, menu U is my users, menu O is my organization, and menu S is the space where I have to log in. That is ones that I've created before webinar. Then I will ask to log in with the password. That's all. Then what I have to do is just pushing, because I've already modified all the source code. So we just push. And right now the application is pushed on the public environment of BlueMix, and the changes that I've done on the source code. During the restaging process, I can show you, for example, some section of the platform. Here, as I said, there is the catalog. In the catalog, you can access a lot of services from the platform. You can choose your preferred runtime to build your app from Java, Node.js, Go, PHP, Python, Ruby, or you can choose the other runtimes from the and build pack from the community. Then here you have the section of the boilerplate that are starter kit combining one runtime plus other services. Other services that where you can choose from this section. Watson, this is the cognitive predictive engine of IBM. Mobile is all the services supporting the backend of your mobile app. Remember, backend because the front end is either from you directly for the iOS or Android or a hybrid one. The DevOps are all the services related with the life cycle of software delivery and process. The web application are the services related with the web app like session caching or for example workflow or for example MQLite is a service related with the queuing. Integration gives you the opportunity to connect securely your public app delivered on BlueMix, for example, with a local database that you would like to manage it on your own premises. Data analytics or the services related with the analytics, statistics and reporting. The security are related with the control of the access of your application. And then Internet of Things are related with the IoT services for managing the smart device. When you change something in Java, you have to, first of all, build, because we are in Java, and what this pushes is the var created from the service. Then I have built that, so I have to push it again. This is very important because it's not like PHP or Python or that the code is interpreted from the runtime services, but in Java you have to compile first, because what is executed is not the source code that you push on, but is the war file that you create. This is specified from here, where the path is webstarter-app.war. That is the file is created under my source. So, okay, this is the same webinar app. Webinar app is the change that I have done on the source code. And then, for example, if I put cf logs, you can see if you just put cf, you have the complete list of the command that you can use. for CF I would like to the CF logs, and you can take in tail the log during the execution of the application, or for example, I can use CF logs webinar Java recent. Now this is the last log on the application console, and you can see here this is the print that I've done modifying the backend of the application. Let's say one info, one warning, one error alert. That's it. It was the same that I'm still saying here. So let's see another thing. What I've done before, it was creating another servlet just for connecting and print line some status service. There's test servlet and the host, the IP of the host. So I could call it, if I call here test, to what I've done. So what I want to do right now is scale up the application and create a service of a database management system. So I will back later to the pricing moment. So for scaling up, I want to create a database service. Scroll up, search from the services, DevOps, mobile, Watson, data and analytics. I will create the SQL database, as you see, SQL relational database. And now I'm still creating a SQL database. Okay, so the SQL relational database is based on DB2. So we'll give a name to that. The system says to me that I need to restage the application. I will do that. During the restage project of the application, I will do some modify to our application. I've prepared a snippet. Then what I want to do right now is connect to the database and then do some operation via SQL to the database. So first of all, I will connect. So I will copy and paste the snippet that I've prepared on my servlet. For connecting to the database, so I will show you right now. Okay. Okay. So what have you done? I've declared some variable where I will save the credential for connecting to the database, and how I will access to the credential of the database. The credential of the database, as I show you here in the overview, the credential of the database are saved in a specific system variable, environment variables. So I can parse it directly from source code, and then I can use it for connecting to the database. And a very useful thing is that you can define specific variable per environment. For example, you can have the test environment, the production environment, and the local one. So for example, you can develop in your local environment on your laptop, connecting to the remote database, just parsing the variable. You can use it and you use it in transparencies, for example, for the local environment, and having the database of local for developing, then for the test environment, database for testing, and the production one. You just need from your application to parse it. So what I've done here is declaring the variable, then parsing the vocab service system environment, and I will save the credential, host, database name, port, etc. I print it for show it, then I use it here for connect to the database. Let me check the code. Yeah, just a moment. Okay. I will do connecting. Okay. This no. Okay. Then I will build again. Some important things that I've done, I will show you during the push process. So right now I can push it again. CF push. What I've done before is to add to the build XML the usage of some standard library. The SQL JSON jar for parsing feature, and then DB2 jar for the usage of the driver and connecting via JDBC to the database. This is very important to add it here because it is included in the war file that will be pushed on BlueMix. So I need that for compiling, but I need that for at runtime. Okay, if I done it all correctly, let's wait. So then when we wait, we can back to the pressing as I said. Okay, the app is running. Let's check right now if we could connect. Okay, we have parsed the VCAP variable and we are connected to the database. So what I want to see right now is to modify our app just for doing some insert. and then some insert, and then some select on the database. Let me get let me check that I've done it correctly. Uh, no, I forget one thing. I'm sorry, guys. So what I will do in that, I show you. I check if the operation of parsing is going good. Well, I connect, as I said, to the DB. Then I create some dynamic statement, creating a table persons, where here is where I execute a SQL statement. Then I do some insert some persons on the table, and then I do a select here. Then save, run as, build. Okay, is built, and then push. The status page of the platform for see if there are some issue on some services on the ones of the two public BlueMix environment, US or UGB. Right now I'm still working on a UGB. Okay, the app is on. Let's check. Cool. Here what I've done is, okay, I've printed again the credential. So I've connected to the DB, created the table person, insert some values, some record, then I've done the select. So what I want to show you right now is that if I back to the dashboard, I can see my app running on Java runtime, and then the DB2 database service, the web user interface of the database, and then accessing here, I can see that there is a table person that is created, and browsing data, I can see the data that I've inserted, Paolo Rossi, Mauro Bianchi, and so on. And then the select that I've done is based just on Paolo, retrieved to me Paolo Rossi and Paolo Ciani. That's here, because I still doing this select cascade from persons, and then like Paolo. So that's all. I've shown you how to create in a few minutes an application in Java connected into a relational database, and how to scale it to doing some operations via source code to the database. That's a very important thing, is that you parsing the system variable, you can create your own environment for developing, testing, and production, based on the spaces on BlueMix. So let's back to our slide. If there are some questions, you can raise the hand, tickle the functionality, and I can answer to you, or I can unmute you. Is there someone have a problem? If there are no questions, I can go now. So thank you everyone, guys. Here are my contacts. If someone has to need for information, then feel free to ask any question. Thank you again, and see you soon to the next webinar.